Hey, it's Dusty with another Reddit story for you. This one is, am I the astronaut for not going to take family pictures because my fiance can't go? My grandpa is getting pretty old and is starting to decline in health, so my aunt thought it would be a good idea to schedule some family pictures since we're not sure how much time he has left. Originally, she scheduled them for the 18th last weekend and everyone could make it. As the date got closer, she suddenly sent out a text saying, "Hey, we can't do the pictures this weekend." My younger cousin's sports team had been picked or offered to attend a special camp that same weekend. Oh, so it was an individual selfish reason. Okay, I understand, like you can't control the kids' sports stuff. That's calamity in and of itself. So instead of sticking with the original plan, the pictures were rescheduled for this coming Saturday. The problem is my fiance had her wisdom teeth removed this past Monday. With the pictures now set for Saturday and her still recovering from surgery, she won't be able to attend. My mom asked if I was going and I told her probably not. She got upset with me and said that I should try to make it because, again, grandpa isn't doing well. My grandparents will obviously be there along with my aunt, uncle, cousins, mom, dad, sister, and my sister's fiance. Here's where I'm conflicted. I'm getting married in a few months, so if this is meant to be a family picture, my future wife should be included with everyone else. Because she can't go due to her surgery, I don't really want to go either. Am I the asshole for staying home? I was thinking about this. I was like, that might be enough time from wisdom teeth removal. I mean, depends on technically, but still there's a discomfort level, and I'm sure she's not gonna feel portrait ready after not even a full week after that. It's possible, but the problem that I have here is selfishly, sister moved it because she had a conflict, and when she did that, she removed the ability of everyone to go and just automatically switched it to another weekend without checking with everybody first. Had she checked with you first and said, does this date work for everybody, instead of this is the new date, you would have had the opportunity to say, oh wait, we're not going to be able to do that. Can we find another weekend? That's problem one that I have here. I feel like sister acted selfishly and didn't give you the opportunity. It's funny though, where she can have shit come up and that's worthy of moving things around, but you are not allowed to. So there's an imbalance there, right? But it also sounds like she's the organizer of all of this, so she kind of has that baked in power, which is not okay either. OP, I feel like you need to speak up and instead of just saying, no, I'm not coming, be like, hey, can we move it to X date? Throw out some alternative options here. There's also, depending on how you're doing these photos, inevitably getting large groups of people together all at the same time is very, very difficult, right? I, on multiple occasions, have had to duplicate a shot to get a person or a couple in that wasn't there for the original and then Photoshop them in, right? That is a possibility as well. So I would throw out some alternatives so that it's not just, no, I'm not going. It is, hey, if we could do this date, it would work. Or if we can do a makeup shoot and get Photoshopped in, that would work as well. But right now, there's kind of this all or nothing zebra attitude with it, where it's either we're going to be there for it or not, and there's no option of moving the date. There's no option for anything. That could come from rigidity from his sister or from his mom or from his family or whatever, but bleh. They could thin out her face after. Man, so the effulgent one, I think you get into tricky territory when you start making aesthetic changes in Photoshop to people, right? It would have to be done with her permission first. Otherwise, it's a no-no to make some aesthetic changes to people without their permission. She would have to request it. And as a photographer, getting those requests, we've had to Photoshop people to thin out their fingers before by their request. Oh yeah, we performed plastic surgery in Photoshop for people for their business portraits. And we still see them on billboards around town, which is really funny. It's feeling like an ESH here to me because they aren't married yet. She doesn't have to be in it, Christmas Museum Girl. However, sister's fiance is in it. So there's an imbalance there. There's some obvious favoritism or a power play being controlled here, or just some selfish attitude. Why can't it be done the next weekend? That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't sound like OP's even asked that question yet. So the question is, am I the astronaut for not going? I think you might be a little bit of one for, instead of not going, not throwing out alternatives. Sister is obviously an asshole for just inconveniencing everybody because of a schedule change that she had and not giving anybody else the opportunity to jump in and change things. She wasn't excluded. She chose not to make it. Platinum Imagery says, no, I think moving in a weekend without checking with people first and puts that just less than a week after her having her wisdom teeth pulled, I think excludes her. Whether sister knew that or not is unknown, but also kind of doesn't matter. I mean, it would make it worse if she knew it. CG Wait says, if you're going to Photoshop it, just have everybody send a pic and build up the photo in Photoshop. That is a recipe for disaster, and here's why. Having like 10 different sources send 10 different photos shot on 10 different cameras with different lenses, resolutions, white balances, it would be a freaking mess. Matching lighting at the very minimum would be necessary to make that work, which is why we typically would go back to the same place, same time of day. Hope conditions are similar, use the same settings and the same, we do everything the same to make it a lot easier. It is a nightmare either way though. It's an ESH for me. And for where OP specifically would land on here, Bayfox, I agree with you. I'd say ask on 4 for not asking sis if it could be moved or throwing out some alternatives and instead just being like, yeah, I don't think I'm going. Could have done that differently. Maybe not should have, but could have. Sister gets a bigger ASCON rating for just automatically moving it and not allowing other people the same opportunity she gave herself.